Okay, what we have is, so the first paragraph is our purpose paragraph, okay, which we are happy with. And then we have one big paragraph, which is everything. And then we have this last paragraph, okay? So we have 3 paragraphs in total, right? Uh, okay. And here, if we look at this one, this other sample, let's see how many paragraphs we have there. Mm. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs here. Okay, and now let's look at the paragraphing and see where it comes from. Okay, we say organization and paragraphing is appropriate, logical, clear. Okay, um, let's first talk about the paragraphing. In order to get there, I need to know what it means the key information is highlighted. How do we highlight the key information? Any idea?
By writing them just paragraphs.
You see, we had this key information earlier here, if you remember, this in content, okay? We said key information is included, okay? If you remember. So key information is included. What was our key information? We decided that this is our key information. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So how should we highlight this?
Bringing them earlier.
Okay.
Actually dispersed in different paragraphs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I take these and I say these are my key this is my key information, okay, and I want to highlight these. Okay, which part of a paragraph is the most important part?
The beginning, actually the opening sentence in the beginning of the
Good.
paragraph.
Okay, and why is that?
Because it's topic sentence.
Mm-hmm. It's a topic sentence. It is. It usually shows the main idea. It is eye-catching. The readers usually pay more attention to the beginning of the paragraphs. Okay, so excuse me. One of the ways of highlighting information is actually to bring it at the beginning of the paragraph. Okay, so beginning of the paragraph. Another way of highlighting information is by using discourse markers. It means like to say it is important or importantly or it is essential. So basically to actually say the word importantly or something like that. So basically, and then, as you said, to bring it earlier. Okay. So how we highlight key information by bring it earlier in the document. Right. What are our key information pieces? So here we have basically we want to see that the paragraphing is appropriate, logical, and clear. Now, what is the best logic here? What you did was chronological, okay? So this is what you did, yeah? You said this is the presentation. The first visit, she came in, and then she had high blood pressure. Then she was started on candesartan. In the next visit, her HbA1c was high, her cholesterol was high. Therefore, what we did was increasing metformin and starting on atorvastatin. And after that, it started to improve. Okay, BP and sugar improved, but after that, again, the fasting sugar is high, non-fasting is not high. Okay, so this is the chronology. So the order is logical because it's chronological, and it's appropriate because this is highlighting the key information. What happened first? What happened next? What was the result? And what is it now? Now, all is left out is some other information which was here. And it was some good to know information which we have to put somewhere which is logical. Okay? Probably just right before our basically um, today. Okay? So we just to say that this is the BMI. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so in a way, this is the way we look at the paragraphing. We say, okay, how do we paragraph? We paragraph with a logic. What is the best logic here? The best logic is chronological. Okay. Now we will discuss other logics later, but we can discuss with themes rather than chronology. With themes like we say, okay, this was the initial presentation, this was the findings, this was the management, this is the situation now. Okay, so we can paragraph like that. We can say, well, these were the findings at the presentation. Then these were the complaints at presentation. The findings, physical findings, blood test findings, urine, X-ray, imaging, anything. This was the management, and that was the result. Okay, so we can just cluster the information differently. But this needs to be appropriate and logical and clear. Okay. And then you said, yeah, the key information is highlighted. It says the subsections are well organized. Okay. What is that? What is subsection?
Section.
Based on what how what logic we are using. I think if we are using the chronological one, I think the part of the sections of like based of like how the patient presented, what happened in the meantime, they should be like appropriately organized.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically, we say that now, for example, in this paragraph, or um, this paragraph is a subsection itself. Okay. And in this subsection, we write the subjective, objective, and assessment plan. Okay, so basically, when we are talking about, for example, when the patient returned, we say if she reports an improvement in her blood sugar, we write it first. Then we say these are the test results, and after that we say what was done. Okay, so basically this subsection also needs to be um, well organized. Now here in this, this is a paragraph, okay, which is our good to know or our background information. Which one should I put first?
Uh, Started, well, DM started 1999,
Okay.
and after that, probably if I want to choose, I choose um, BMI, maybe.
Okay, so
findings like
okay,
Excuse
she's
me,
di
didn't
yes.
notice. From past medical history, you mean?
Yeah, this is the good
Yeah.
to know information. Okay, so we need to put it in a good order. So this is a
Yes.
subsection.
Yes.
What is the best order? We say usually, yeah. So we say Mrs. Sharma has been diabetic since 1999. Okay, and then what should we say?
I think no smoking, no alcohol, no exercise,
Okay.
and uh, then no peripheral neuropathy, uh, then eye check, uh, and then drugs, and after that allergies, and BMI. Uh,
maybe we can organize it based on like physical exam and
uh,
other findings,
yes,
relevant findings.
BMI, we can put it after, for example, exercise.
Okay. So we put the BMI here. Okay. Okay. So basically, you say she's diabetic. She doesn't smoke. She doesn't drink. She doesn't have any formal exercise plan. Her BMI is 24. She doesn't have any peripheral neuropathy. Her last eye check was in 2017. She takes these medication and she is allergic to penicillin. Yeah.
Yes.
So that would be a subsection. Well, uh, I don't know. That's if you say this is the best one, I agree, and I wouldn't challenge you. Uh, but usually, yes, we put the more important one first, and which is this one, diabetes for 20 years. Okay. We could have actually mentioned, I would probably put the kidney here, just say that her GFR is okay and the urine is normal or something like that. In any case, uh, these are the subsections there. So we understand what subsections are. So if we are writing a paragraph, we don't say that, well, um, uh, yes, his abdomen was soft, his blood pressure was 120/80, his pulses were normal, his chest was this. Okay, we don't want that. What we do from top to toe, we start with vital signs, okay? And if we have complaints and examinations, we say the patient's complaints first, then examinations, then blood test, then X-ray. Okay, so we need to have our subsections also need to be logical. If you're talking about treatment, it needs to be A, B, C, D. So the airway, breathing, the patient was put on oxygen, then IV access, then what medications injected. Okay. And after that, if you have done any tests. Okay, so basically, we need to highlight some of this information. Okay, so Mrs. Sharma, initially, you initially visited her here. Okay, and then what happened? Up to here, yes, when the drugs were changed. Okay. Then the result of the pathology was reviewed, and I increased her metformin, and this happened. Okay, so then her blood pressure improved. Okay, uh, then we talk about history. Yes, so if we put that here, yeah. So what do you think? Is that better?
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
Okay, so basically what we're doing, we are paragraphing, we are highlighting the information. What is important is this is the initial presentation. Then after that, this is the second presentation, and what happened consequently. and this is what happened after that, and this is the background information, okay, and this is what we are requesting, okay. So as you can see, it's very similar to what we did. So you've done it, you've picked up the information, you've summarized, but what you needed to do was also organization, which is important, okay.
Excuse me, doctor. In a second paragraph, initially, we have to put the exact date of the first visit. For example, 29th of December. We are obliged to do that, or no? It's something.
If you use past tense, yes, you just say the date. Basically, yeah, rather than saying, for example, 36 days ago or something like that. No, I have discussed this with the OET people, and they say you need to put on the exact dates. Okay, uh, for the sake of accuracy. Okay, right now. Uh, So are we okay with the organizational layout? Are we all right with that?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason we separate paragraphs is to highlight the key information. And basically, because each paragraph catches the attention. Um, we don't normally use these. We don't say however, okay? And we will discuss it later. Then, okay. Um, Yeah, we will get back to this letter later. Um, okay, so we come up here to organization paragraph, and we discussed that. Now, what I would like you to do is, just before that, well laid out. What is that? Well laid out.
Uh, that means omitting a lane between two paragraphs, for example.
Good. Okay.
Or
Yes.
beginning I mean making some distance from the beginning of one paragraph
Hmm.
uh, as a substitute for that.
Good. If I go to this layout in my mm, this is the layout section in my menu. As you can see, it talks about the margins, the orientation, the size, the columns, how many columns, breaks, line numbers, distance between, spacing between lines, okay, and alignment, okay. So this means that we want this letter to look like a letter, and this is the layout, as you can see, okay. So basically, if I say a layout letter, this is the letter layout, as you can see. We have the receiver's address here. We have today's date, dear Dr. Smith, Mrs. Priya Sharma, date of birth. This can come above here, okay? And then I'm writing to refer her. We skip one line between paragraphs, okay? And now, what happens if you're writing in the exam and then you add something so these two get mixed up? Just put an arrow here. Just say, okay, this is and write paragraph. Okay, there's no choice. It's better to be not to be confusing than to be wrong. Okay. Uh, okay. So basically, this shape or this layout has a mark for itself. So you need to make sure that you need to have a letter layout. Okay.
Excuse me.
Uh,
Question.
yes.
If you want to add something in the letter, can we do it like I asked that we put something like a star or something and we add it at the end of the letter?
Not end of the letter. You have to do it there. You have to do it in the same place. Um, Basically, yeah. So you have to write it there. Okay. You have to add. For example, you say, yeah, you can take it out, and then you can say, for example, um, like this. Okay, and you write it here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but no, not down there. If you if you, for example, you delete here and you want to say this is not the end of the paragraph, okay? This is no paragraph. So you do this. You put lines here and you say, well, this is not a paragraph, okay? This is still the continuation, okay? So this means that, well, I have omitted a sentence and I don't want to start a new paragraph. If you have added here and then you see that these you want to start a paragraph, but because you have you have added this sentence, it is now not obvious that's a paragraph. You put an arrow here and you write paragraph. Okay. Yep. Uh, it basically what we say is, yes, ideally we want this to be as well laid out as possible, but if not, accuracy is more important. So you have to make sure it's a different paragraph. Okay. Any problem?
No, no.
No. Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
Excuse me, can we do both of them? I mean, uh, indentation and omitting one lane between two
Um,
paragraphs.
not usually. No, it is not. It either needs to be indented or block type with one space.
Yes, either or.
That's
Okay.
right. Right. Okay. So we came. We got here to the organization. So purpose, content, conciseness, organization. Now we get to the genre. Okay. What is genre? If we come here, it says writing is clinical and factual and appropriate to genre and reader. It means discipline and knowledge. Okay. Discipline and knowledge. Technical language, abbreviations, and polite language are used. Okay. So technical, abbreviations, polite language are used appropriately for the document and recipient. Okay. So this means that you need to use appropriate abbreviations and polite language and technical language. So basically, if I say in this letter, if I say the HbA1c is high at 10%, it is wrong because it is not the proper language. Use of HbA1c is okay because a specialist knows what HbA1c is. It's technical language which is appropriate for an endocrinologist, and it is probably not very polite to say it is high because an endocrinologist knows that it is high. Okay, so but here clinical and factual language. Okay, objective and non-judgmental language, which we will discuss, and then appropriate to genre and audience. Okay, so the reader needs to be appropriate and it needs to be respectful and formal language. Okay, and then abbreviations and technical language should be used appropriately. So abbreviations and polite language, technical language. are used appropriately. Okay, so in other words, what is clinical and factual language?
Um,
Using technical words,
mm, just
Mhm.
like not general population word for the description of like everything we are describing.
yeah,
Good.
ordinary. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, you say here, I increased her metformin dose from uh, 750 BD and initiated atorvastatin 1 month. Now, uh, let's see. And this says metformin was increased to 750 BD, and she was started on Atacand 4 milligram and atorvastatin 20 milligram in the morning. Okay, so what is the difference here?
Uh, it was passive voice,
Okay,
and I think passive voice is much, you know, more academic than the active voice.
that's right. Okay, yes, we tend to use so one of the uh, objective non-judgmental language. So one of them is passive voice. Okay. Okay. What else?
Um,
Mrs. Sharma has had DM type 2 since 1999. She has no signs of peripheral neuropathy. Okay. So then, okay. So what did you say? She's been diagnosed with, okay. She has been diagnosed with DM type 2 since 1999. Okay. She has no history of smoking, alcohol, or drug use. Okay, good. Last eye examination was normal. No peripheral neuropathy is detected on her physical exam. She's allergic to penicillin. Okay, that is quite good. So another, the only noticeable finding was that that is good. Okay, I can't find an example of what I wanted to say, but I would say it. Well, basically, another example is with there is or there are. Okay, and basically, we tend to use statements rather than action words. Okay. So, what is the difference between action words and statements?
um,
Hmm.
I have no idea what.
Okay.
Like,
In
like when we want to refer to the patient, we say that she did this and she did that, or
hmm
like
um,
she doesn't smoke or she doesn't have any history of smoking. Like,
uh, the patient improved significantly with physiotherapy, or there was significant improvement with physiotherapy. Okay. Uh, what's the difference?
The second one is more academic or something.
Okay, it's descriptive, it is factual, it is non-judgmental, um, and it is descriptive. So basically, we say in more clinical language, we talk descriptively. We describe something. We say there was an improvement. We don't say he improved. Okay. When we say he improved, it means he did something. Okay.
yeah.
And this is what we call a statement. So as you can see, you have somehow used the statements here. You say the only noticeable finding at the time was, so the finding was this. Okay. Okay. I initially visited her. Yeah, instead of that, we could have said she presented. Okay, she initially presented, or she attended my clinic, as Dr. Svandieri said, and she has been diagnosed, as you said it here. Okay, so we tend to use more descriptive language rather than action language. Okay. Now,
One question, not relevant to this. For the drugs, do we use the capital letter at the first or just the
yep,
lowercase?
yep. Here, atorvastatin is wrong because it is generic, so it needs to be a small letter. Atacand is okay because it is a trade name. It needs to be capital, and that is candesartan. Okay. So if we have a trade name, it is capital. If we have a generic name, it needs to be a small letter.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So here, her BMI was in normal range. Okay.
Yeah.
We say we don't want this because it is judgmental language. Okay. So we don't say it is normal. We don't say it is abnormal. All we say is that her BMI is 24. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So in basically non-judgmental language, uh, mhm. So we don't say heavy smoker.
Yeah.
No.
No, we don't.
We say he smokes 20 cigarettes per day. Okay. We don't say binge drinker. We don't say unfortunately. We don't say suffering. Okay. We don't. We're not allowed to use these, so we don't want these. Okay. Right. Okay. So. Uh, Okay, so passive voice, okay, respectful and formal language, and abbreviations are technical language. Okay,